I'm going to make this recipe quick. People don't like when I talk too much. I don't like it either, but I do talk to get the point across. Now the cuttlefish is cooked just like squid in a minute or two, and that's it. Otherwise, you have to cook it even longer before it gets tender again. And I'd rather cook it quickly. So this imparts a nice nutty flavor when you do the garlic like this. Like I said, you don't have to. Okay, so this is going to brown a little bit. I'm going to shut the film off until it browns. Now that it's brown, I'll add the tomatoes. I lowered the flame. Now, if you notice, I didn't peel the tomatoes. If you want to peel them, go right ahead. I have nothing, this doesn't bother me that the tomatoes have the skin on them when I'm eating it with pasta. I don't really care. Maybe because I'm not Italian. Anyway, use any tomato you like. Even green tomatoes, red tomato, whatever. Now I'll raise the flame. This will cook up. This will take a few minutes. And meanwhile, the water for the pasta is right there. Put salt in the water and taste it. You should be able to taste just that it has salt. Don't overdo it. This way the pasta has its own flavor. Very important. And a lot of water and the pasta will never stick. So while the tomatoes are cooking, let's add the oregano, dry or fresh. Let's add the salt and pepper from my salt and pepper mix, because everything that goes in the recipe has to be seasoned. You just can't season the pasta and not the tomatoes. That's cooking. It looks like a lot, but once it starts cooking down, it won't be that much. But I like tomatoes, so that's why I put this amount. You could put less. This is the pan for the squid. The oil's getting a little bit hot. This is only going to take a couple of minutes at the most. Now I'll do two things. I'm covering the tomatoes. Why? I don't want it to reduce and dry out. I want it to cook. That's not the lid for that pot, but it'll work. Now I'm going to put the squid in. When I put this in, look at the time on the video right now. Because whatever time it takes, high flame, that's a teaspoon of the salt and pepper mix. This is what's going to take up the next couple of minutes on the video. Like I said, high flame. Now I had this left over from, I made some sushi, and I bought a cuttlefish to make some of the cuttlefish pieces too. And all this was left over. As you can see, it's julienne. Even the tentacles I cut in half, most of them. there's nothing wrong with having this slightly chewy, but not like a rubber band. Because when this is done, I'm going to pull it off to the side and wait. And when the pasta is ready, I will mix this into the tomatoes, put the pasta in a bowl, and put the mix over it. So I used 1/4 of a cup of olive oil, virgin olive oil here, and 1/4 in the tomatoes. This cooks just like squid. It's thicker, much thicker. So it's cut a little different. Now it's getting to the point where I'm going to taste the piece, and then I'm going to pull it off. Oh, very tender. Delish. That takes care of that. I was cooking the tomatoes for about 10 minutes. Now, I'm going to add the squid ink. I'm putting it into the tomatoes because if I put it into the cuttlefish, I'll lose some of it in the pan. That was 1 teaspoon. Now the rest of this, of course you have to refrigerate this, but I think I'm going to put it in the freezer because I don't know when I'm going to use it next. Anyway, so that takes care of the tomato. Now I'm getting ready to boil up the pasta, and I realized I bought 2 boxes of pasta. So I took 4 ounces out of 1 box, put it with the 12, and what do we have? We have 1 pound. So that's the recipe, the way I wanted it in the beginning. I like using a wider pot like that to cook the pasta than one that's tall and deep. It just cooks a little bit easier. And the other 4 ounces. Nice and easy. And it doesn't clump together as much. No sense in watching this. Everybody knows how to cook pasta. And never rinse it off when you're done. Because all you're doing then is adding water to the dish, and you don't want that. You want the sauce, or whatever it is, to cling to the pasta. Not like when you go to these Italian restaurants, they give you a side of spaghetti, and you lift up the spaghetti and you see water in the bottom. Because they don't cook it to order, but they heat it up in water. And then what? They don't drain it enough. I just poured the pasta into the colander, and now we put the squid into there. Mix this up. And now we're going to place it on to finish up. This is going to feed 4 people. I'll take the mix. My wife doesn't know that she's having this for dinner. She's going to be surprised and love it. Spread this out. For the presentation, before you mix it up, you put the scallions on there. If you like parsley, you can use parsley. We like scallions. And there you go. Now just take it, toss it a few times. Oh, I love that ink, the way it makes everything black. See how the squid is julienne, so it kind of clings to the pasta. This is good. And that is it. So I hope you enjoy this. This is the first time I've used cuttlefish cooked and the ink. Hope you enjoy it. I will.